Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of the Korean Dota 2 League. I'm LD Beyond the Summit. I don't have anybody casting with me. Yep, they all ditched me. Everyone's busy, sleeping, resting, what have you. So this will be a solo cast, but it should be a good one. We have a best of one coming up for the Tier 2 Korean Dota League. That is going to be For the Dream We Are the Winner versus EoT Gaming Hammer. Following that, we have what everyone's waiting for, which is the Team Zephyr best of 3 versus MVP. But on that note, the draft is underway, and we're going to hop right into it. Okay, so from what I've heard, For the Dream We Are the Winner, somebody was saying, I believe it was Whiplash, who's like the official Korean English caster at the studio. He mentioned they're a Chinese team. To be honest, I don't know much about them. We'll just have to see how they draft for this one. But, of course, EoT Gaming Hammer was the team that took down Zephyr, knocked them down to the losers bracket in the NSL Season 3, and gave them a scare in that 3-2 win. Zephyr kind of got their act together, crushed them 2-0 in the play-in matches, the qualifier matches for this tournament, and, well, that's how they ended up in Tier 2. Only one team from each qualifier group made it into the Tier 1 event, and EoT was not able to do so, but to me, looking at the teams in Tier 2, they're probably the strongest team in Tier 2. If they're not the strongest, they're definitely in the top 2 or 3. So, tough opponent for the Dream We Are the Winner. Expected to be the underdogs, for me at least, coming into this match. There are no Dota 2 Lounge bets for this game. However, there are for the upcoming match. So if you haven't already placed your bets, let's see. Zephyr 60, MVP sitting at around 40. I think it's a little more Zephyr slanted than that. I think Zephyr is actually a pretty decent value bet for this match. But that'll be the next series. That's best of 3. This one is a best of 1. So, boy, diving into the draft, things have really changed since I was casting full-time. We'll be back to that soon, but yeah, we're seeing the Quaspecs and Invoker gain a lot more respect nowadays. In Korean Dota, they really seem to favor the chaotic teamfight, kind of teamfight gank, or not teamfight heroes, but like gankers, heroes that can create a lot of space on their own. Slark, Doom, pretty high priority, high value heroes in the Korean scene. You don't see as much of like the kind of pushing 5-man Dota heroes. Occasionally we've seen teams try and run like a Pugna DK, Death Prophet with very mixed results. So expect to see a lot of aggression. EoT Gaming Hammer, we saw Jo did try to run, they ran a Pugna mid for him in one game in that NSL Grand Finals, and oh boy, that did not work out at all. So we'll have to see if JO's had a chance to get more comfortable with the team, if they've had a chance to get more acclimated to him playing with them. But yeah, EoT should be the favorites coming to this. Opening pretty open-ended starting to the draft. Offlane Timbersaw likely. They went for the CM as well, so they have a good jungling support. But for the Dream, Doom very good to lock down Timber. So expect to see EoT go for at least one more core here. We'll have to see what exactly they have in mind. They need some stuns though, man. This Storm comes out, they have nothing to deal with it. One of the natural predators of Storm is already picked up by For the Dream. We Are the Winner. Boy, what a name. Yeah, they need something here like a Lion, maybe a Skywrath Mage if you want to go for more of a niche support, but a support that has proper lockdown, or this Storm is just going to go hard. Kunkka, not really going to cut it. You can extort him, but you can just use Zip to actually, if you're zipping when the X procs, you don't get pulled back. So Kunkka not really the best here to shut down Storm after the laning phase, but we'll see what they do. Very strong, just split pushing, ganker lineup from For the Dream, and I don't know about EoT's draft so far. They looks like they want to put on a lot of early pressure. Their 5-man is quite strong, and For the Dream, that is their weak point here. Slark, Doom, Storm, not really good 5-man Dota heroes. Not particularly adept at stopping the push, but if any of these heroes starts to snowball, EoT has no way to punish it.
5 seconds.
And they've already got their 2 supports, so looking at the cores left in the pool, I mean, there's just not many obvious choices to lock down a Storm, let alone a Storm, a Slark, and a Doom. This is going to be tough for EoT. What do they go for here? If they really want to focus on pushing, there's the Death Prophet, Dragon Knight. I expect to see someone who can put out some damage and scale well with farm. Otherwise, you're begging for this Timbersaw to just get shut down, and there's really no follow-up at that point. Luna gets the ban, a pretty good pushing carry as well. If they want to run Kunkka mid, then they'd be looking for a safe lane farmer along the lines of a Luna. There's also a lone Druid in the pool, who does pretty well against these heroes. Very durable, not a good target for Doom, not easily brought down, can lane effectively against pretty much anyone. Slark included with a little backup, and does push well, so definitely off the beaten path as far as what teams are picking nowadays, but we'll wait and see. As for the Dream, it'll be the second support for them. Someone with AoE seems ideal at this point. They have a Rubik, okay for stopping the push, but they really need more. Twin-Headed Dragon has been a go-to staple support for Cloud9 lately, and I actually think he's very good in this scenario in particular. AUI loves to skill that, what's it called? The thing that does damage to towers? Liquid Fire, but you can also just skill the other two AoE nukes, and he's very durable as well. Not an easy hero to bring down, so someone who's not particularly farm dependent, someone who can help stop the push. That would be what I expect out of For the Dream. If they want to play super greedy, they could run like a Jungle Doom, pick something else for the as a kind of a solo hero or a utility hero for the team, but looks to be a support. And ideally someone who can stop the push.
Enchantress.
Nope, okay, they'll go aggressive here with the Enchantress. So, good dual roam lineup. An EoT Gaming Hammer, they bring out the mace. They come out with the Faceless Void. Oh boy, can you imagine? The JO Void. Drop the Chrono, pop the boat, pop the champagne while you're at it, and let Timbersaw go to work. That's a lot of AoE if they hit the Chronosphere. This does also give them some lockdown for Storm, something they desperately needed. Not the most reliable. If you come from the fog and you're quick on the Chrono, most Storms are not going to be able to react, but if he sees you time walking in, very easy to just zip away and dodge it. So they get some lockdown, but not the best. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out, though. Their 5-man's dirty, that's for sure. And it is a best of one, so EoT Gaming Hammer going for a pretty late-game oriented carry generally. Now, Void, I think oftentimes people underestimate how strong Void is in the early to mid-game. He doesn't do much damage, but when you have supports and other heroes that have a lot of AoE and just need setup, he can actually fight very effectively early on. So, on that note, guys, it's time for Game 1 and our best of 1. I was going to say, I'm so used to saying best of 3. This is a best of 1, though. EoT versus FW. And on that note, we start with the favorites, the more well-known team. 4 Pinoys at this point. We have Ryo going to be playing the Kunkka, Castrin on the Chen. We have P. Young, the Crystal Maiden, Jo, your North American transplant on the Faceless Void. And that does leave Chrissy as the offlane Timbersaw. And on the Dire side, we have FW, Scoundrel, taking up the role as the support Rubik. And he's got a lot of supporting to do. This Tricore, pretty greedy. Prince will be playing that Doom. Looks like he will start off lane. Merlini, not the Merlini that you all know and love. He's actually streaming right now. I can guarantee you he is not in this game. But a Merlini fan on FW. Rhina going to be playing the Enchantress, going defensive at the start. And Sanka as the solo mid Slark. So they're going to start with an off-lane Doom, which we do see from time to time, especially in 1v1 matchups. On the Dire side, it's kind of tough. You don't have the camp. If you're on the Radiant side, you go off-lane, you can pull this camp. You can also look to eat a creep from there if it's not blocked. You don't really have that option here. At the same time, Faceless Void and Chen are not going to make for a very strong early killing combo, but in the laning stage, Void is pretty good if it comes to last hits. Really high base damage, good animation, and not an easy hero to trade blows with, especially when he's already starting Stout Shield. So Void can actually pretty easily kind of zone a Doom out of the lane if it just comes to the two of them farming and the supports are a wash. It's Doom sitting on 0 armor, so we'll have to see how that lane turns out. In the mid lane, it's going to be Kunkka versus Slark. Both heroes mostly just focus on getting their farm early on. Now, one thing worth mentioning is you cannot Dark Pact out of X, so Kunkka in that sense is a pretty good, I wouldn't say hard counter, but a pretty good hero to initiate upon Slark. So we'll see how that works out. So far, Jo taking a lot of harassment. Doom going man mode on him. Those first few levels for Void, not the best, and he does go Time Walk, which doesn't help you to deal with the harass coming your way, but I imagine we'll see him take a point in the passive soon. Both junglers, oh, already one on the move. We're going to go in mid right now, and they go into Ryo. He gets caught by a net, latched by the Slark, and this should be our first blood. It is. Oh, baby. Rhino wastes no time in executing that smoke. Gets the perfect creep to do it, and Kunkka pays the price. So, first blood against the Pinoy Pride in EoT. We'll have to see if they can stem the bleeding. That's going to mean a very early bottle for the Slark, and this is a matchup where Slark mostly just cares about getting level 6. Creeps are basically a bonus for him. It's definitely better at snowballing in a melee versus melee, and I'd say it's a pretty good matchup for Slark as far as they go, but he didn't need that start. The fact that he has it, just icing on the cake. Rhina just contained the jungle. Did he buy another smoke? Nope, doesn't look like it, but he could go for another smoke pretty early on. Timbersaw, not the best hero to gank, but Kunkka is very killable. So for now, he's content to farm the woods while we see Sanka just use that first blood and dominate the lane. As for our Chen, he's playing very greedy style AFK jungle. This will be a boon for the team later on, but for now it means Kunkka, after giving up the first blood, is pretty much on an island. So the Void's not... He's farming pretty well, though, considering that he's not really getting any support in the lane. Doom CSing okay, 8-1 with the dual lane. The CM's been pretty much woodsing as well. So overall, despite EoT giving up the first blood, I'd say they're getting more off the map right now. The dual lane bottom going to be star for levels. Doom and Rubik, both heroes that need him. Well, see how it turns out. This is not enough blood for my taste. This is Korean Dota. Let's see some action here, boys. Well, not yet. Soon. A Storm is coming. A lot of these heroes do need their level 6. You look around the map, Storm, Void, Doom, Rubik. I mean, pretty much everybody. Even a hero like Kunkka, Chen. It's like 7 to 8 heroes that are very reliant on hitting level 6. So it might be a slow start, but expect things to heat up soon enough. Rhina, another Dark Troll Warlord. Does he picked up another smoke? He might be going for one now. When does the Chinese New Year map come to a close anyway? I'm ready for the regular map pack. Is that just me? I feel like I'm not the only one who's ready to go back to the regular Dota map. But they do go in bottom lane, do a lot of damage to Scoundrel. Already has a TP picked up. Ready perhaps for the Timbersaw to go hard on the Storm. But well, that means even farther delayed boots for here that's not getting much, and now it could be trouble bottom. Where's that bash? Where's that bash? He's got a time walk. Not gonna get it. Prince survives, and meanwhile on the top lane, your Timbersaw also taking damage. He does have level 3 Timber Chain. This is not happening. Storm out of mana. In fact, if they're not careful, he might just turn around and kill him. Yeah, he'll back off. But they drive the Timbersaw off the lane. Main goal here is just get your Storm to level 6, so he's not easy pickings for the offlane Timbersaw. Speaking of whom, already 17-7. He's having a good time. And now a smoke bottom. Castrin, P. Young, and J.O. Diddy on the move. They'll jump in. There's a nice lift on the Crystal Maiden. Stuns the Chen as well. But Prince has nowhere to run. He buys a TP. No mana to use it. And he will go down easily. That's a free kill for J.O. And let's see what J.O. goes for this game. In terms of item progression, we see a decent amount of Midas Void. Maelstrom is a reasonable choice. We've seen occasional, like, Ags, not Ags Rush, but after your core items, Mask of Madness is probably Eternal Envy's go-to item on Void as his first main pickup. It is a risky one, but to be honest, this game, if you get doomed, you're probably dead anyway, so you might as well go for the Glass Cannon build and just blow heroes up. And avoid getting doomed. Just count on your positioning to bail you out. For FW, again, it's about the level 6 for them. Doom only 3, he can't really do much. Your Slark mid already hit 6. I would like to see them rotate the Rubik mid, let him get some levels, and have the Slark get active around the map. If not the second, then definitely within the next 2 to 3. Slark sitting mid while your Doom's being starved in the off lane. Ultimately, the Doom's going to need the farm, as well as the levels later on, and Rubik's just not getting much done here after a relatively slow start. So the Chen moves through. Already level 5. The early, pretty efficient stacking has paid off. He cleared out, looks like a pretty large stack. It was either a double or a triple, and he had a double stack here earlier. So he's been doing a good job of keeping up in terms of levels, whereas your Enchantress, not a bad job, but only level 4 at 6 minutes. So spent more time ganking, did not get the Wildkin luck, I suppose, when she wanted it. She got a Wildkin, but not when she had a stack. And we'll see another move, but Rhina doesn't really have mana to do anything, and there's an Observer Ward here spotting him out. So this is not going to accomplish much. And Chrissy's just going to head for the 6-minute room, but it does spawn bottom. It'll be an invis for your Crystal Maiden. No dire vision of this one. This could be trouble. This could be big trouble. Yeah, Scoundrel, that's not where you want to be. While that's happening, there is a go on the top lane, but Timbersaw likely to live. This bottom lane, not so likely to survive. Is there a bash for Scoundrel? Slap. Chop. and Stomp, and now he's dead. There is Frost Armor on Doom. He's pretty tanky. He hasn't actually used the Frost Armor, though. Oh, boy. Doesn't quite make the difference here. But could have been enough. We'll see continued aggression bottom lane. I was just checking Skype there. Sorry about that. Thought there was a tech issue or something. But, yeah, now he's got the Frost Armor up, so he's pretty hard to bring down. Early treads for Jo. Not going greedy, not going Midas. We'll see if he goes for, like, a early Mask of Death. For now, it'll be the Magic Stick, but there are definitely a lot of ways to itemize Void. BKB Rush in some games is a good build. This game, definitely not one where you want to do it, and, well, Chrissy just nowhere to run at this point. He'll try and Timber Chain out. Actually throws the Chakra back the other way, doing good damage here. But he just jumps once more, almost brings down Sanka Sanka. Living life on the edge, but that's where Slark likes to be. Right on the edge, but never over. So a good movement from the Slark, gets the solo, gets the First Blood mid with some help from the Enchantress. Good rotation top. The thing that's missing here, though, is the Rubik rotating there. Again, either Rubik or Doom should go mid when the Slark ganks, just leaving both bottom. And Missy experience mid, as well as just sharing between two heroes that need a lot is not really the most efficient way to do it. And it looks like we're going to have a quick pause here from Team FW. So, pretty early on, guys. Hope you're enjoying the early, relatively light bloodshed. And hang on to your hats, because it's going to heat up here soon. These lineups really potent in the mid-game. Can you imagine, can you envision it? If EoT hits a Chrono, then there's a boat torn over the top. While that's happening, Crystal Maiden starts channeling her ult. That's pretty much a team wipe if EoT hits the 5-man AoE. Whereas for FW, all they really care about is get level 6 on the Doom, get some farm on the Storm, and just have the Slark move around, setting up kills and creating space. So they'll be looking for the small-scale engagements, and your Radiant squad will be looking for the Wombo combo.
Is under attack.
8 minutes in, waiting for the rune. What's it gonna be? And it's a DD rune, and it spawns top. And the Dire side does see it. Reigns has placed an Observer Ward here. And they're going to spot Ryo picking it up, but main thing is you're denying this to the Slark or the Storm. Both heroes that you don't want to be picking up a DD road at this stage. Well, JO's farming 42-3. And it is an early Mask of Death. You can sit on it, but generally if you want to do that, this is not... Void's not a hero like Luna, where you just get the casual Mask of Death. Already have a lot of damage. Generally, if you go this, you expect to see the Mask of Madness. So, JO's going for the Glass Cannon build. Again, I think it's a good choice this game. If you get doomed, even with Mask of... without the Mask of Madness, you're still going down. And there will be a solo Chrono just on the Rubik. Remember, there's no Doom yet, but there is a TP reaction from Sanka Sanka. Scoundrel low. Scoundrel will fall. But your Chen will be a trade, and now JO's got to get the hell out. The Chen heal gets popped, but all the damage has been stolen by the Slark. He's hitting hard. He will force them back, and on the flip side of the engagement, it's P Young. Too young. Goodbye, cruel world. Not cutting out of this one. Jams it in. Sanka Sanka with a quick double kill. Great TP reaction, and the best part is Storm didn't even have to come. Meanwhile, bit of a ninja mission here. Your Timbersaw jumps around, but Doom has just been picked up by Prince. Timbersaw is coming from the backside, and with no Doom, they don't have a whole lot of blockdown for him, but at the same time, I don't think he's got the damage to bring these FW heroes down. Retreats. There's another zip. It's a long-range one. They need a pull, they need a remnant, and then probably a level death. They don't have it yet, just a clap. That might have been enough if they got the pull, but Merlini, not quite ready to go for that one. Now Chrissy turns it around, but there's a pull back in. Here comes the boat, boys! Triple boat! Is there any follow-up? There's not. Oh, I was looking for that one more AoE splash to kill them all. But that Kunkka went bowling, and he definitely hit a strike there. Prince will limp back to base. Merlini will as well. When it's all said and done, they kill the Rubik. I believe that was twice. What's he? 0-3, yeah. 2 deaths on the Rubik, but not losing their core heroes on FW side. The Doom staying alive, the Slark able to live as well. And overall, that's a trade FW should be okay with. Getting a Timbersaw, a worthy trade, and their Storm was getting free farm during that time. So I actually think this favors FW pretty heavily. And on top of that, they didn't take the tower. They already Chen's already level 6. He's got 2 creeps, about to be 3. Generally, when you put a lot of pressure on your safe lane, you want to take the tower after a big engagement. But they won it one at a time, and as a result, well, they don't reap the They don't reap the rewards. Jesus, that's a tongue twister. That didn't seem like a tongue twister. Like, in my head, it was very clear. It's like, they reap the rewards. They reap the rewards. And then you try to say it, it's like, blah, 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 blah. Ay, ay, ay. Can you tell I haven't been casting much lately? Oy vey. Okay, so we're going to see a teleport reaction top. And good news, I have yet to miss a kill. So that's something. I got that going for me, at least. We see a lot of rotations. Jo already the Mask of Madness up. And just baiting at this top lane. But sadly for Mr. Jo, there's a lane ward. So this ain't going to work. I would like to see them bait this, though. And it seems to me Merlini should post up a little bit. Just have your Doom ready to TP in. And you can blow up the Void. But now Jo moves mid. And once again, he's been spotted. So everywhere Jo goes, nowhere to call home. When you get Mask of Madness, you could definitely just go Woods. But as soon as they see Jo rotate off the lane, they go in on Chrissy. And they bring him down. Fantastic warding from FW. Spotting the TP into the lane by the Void. Spotting the rotation off the lane. And then securing the kill. There's a glyph here. FW may look to defend this. Storm's low on mana, though. And if they want to defend it, they're going to have to bring everyone else in. Because without the Storm, it becomes a very difficult fight. Trying to defend your tower against Void when he's got Mask of Madness and Chrono is a dicey proposition. They could doom him, though. He only Chronos one. Then he gets doomed for his trouble, but there's a Hand of God to keep him alive. Stands his ground, turns it around, and brings down the Slark. Can they get another core here? That's the question. There's an X. Is there a torrent follow-up? Nope, unfortunately, didn't have the mana for it. While that's happening, Chrissy just defending top, and he will steal Whirling Death. The Rubik will, so... All in all, the tower going the way of the Radiant. That one not denied. It's 2-0 on towers. They should be pretty comfortable, despite the bottom engagement not being the best. The key for them right now is the Kunkka Shadowblade. Slark, Storm, not really the best heroes to try and gank with Kunkka, but there are still 3 other heroes that are pretty easy to bring down. If Enchantress gets X-torrented, she ain't going anywhere. If Doom does, he might take a while to bring down, but he ain't going anywhere either. And of course, what I'd like to see them do is just run around, use Chrono to set up kills. Whenever the boat's off cooldown, it's got a 1-minute cooldown. Just drop it and go for a kill. There's no reason to hang on to it for a big team fight. Later on in the game, they'll want to combo those spells, but for now, really not necessary. This lane ward has been doing a lot of work, though. EoT, 3 heroes rotating towards the top lane, but if they actually try to defend this tower, either FW will back off or they'll come in numbers, in force. There's your Shadowblade. Kunkka 60 CS, 14 minutes in. Pretty darn good. The Slark spent more time off the lane, and now he's going to make a move with the Haste Rune. And I think this was just out of vision of the lane war because Merlini's not reacting to it. He eats a cleave. Then there's the X. He zips too early. He's got to time this zip right to dodge the X, and he will do so. Well played. Now your Slark tries to jump in, but he just gets absolutely blown up. He pops the ult. Stands his ground. Jo still has access to the Chrono. 5 seconds until he can pop it, actually. Doesn't get it off in time, but the chase continues. Sanka better run, 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 or he's dead. And yeah, I don't know if he's getting out of this. One more hit. There's the smackdown. Jo-sama brings the hammer, or the mace, as it were. And EoT walks away with a 3-0 engagement. Very, very well prepared for that one. Was a good dodge by Merlini. You can see FW Merlini. Ben Wu, so good he can stream as well as play Korean Dota. Pretty impressive stuff. That's multitasking for you, but yeah, it was a good dodge of the X there. Problem is, he used all his mana to do so, and then wasn't really able to fight. So EoT, on the back of that, you'll notice when they take fights, they have been taking towers. The one exception was that earlier engagement bottom, where they kind of ran it one by one and fed, and or traded somewhat poorly, I would say. Not totally fed. And then the tower got denied. But since then, it's been pretty much all EoT, leading now by 5k gold, 3k experience. Storm Slark, very hard for this lineup to lock down, but not when they get caught by surprise. And the Slark in particular is very squishy at this point. Only has Treads and Magic Wand. Best way to deal with Slark is either instantly silence or hex him before he can pop Dark Pact, or just have mass burst damage, so it doesn't matter if he has his ult or Dark Pact, he's still just going to be too low to fight, and that's pretty much what we see in this game. Little dewarding from Rhina, so they will spot that out. Still, there's an aggressive lane ward here, and the map control is very lacking for FW. You know, they're running a lineup where you have Doom, Slark, and Storm, and you just want to keep on finding pickoffs. But where have the pickoffs been? We saw the one TP counter gank for a double kill from Slark, one rotation towards the top lane, but the rest of the team wasn't very efficient on the back of that. Like, the Doom, Rubik were just sitting bottom dual laning. They could have had somebody mid getting experience while that was going on. Enchantress, early game was very effective, but since then has been quite quiet, so feels like they're not really too sure of how to go. And at this stage of the game, it gets very scary. You can't find those easy solo kills when you're up against the Chen with a mech, Hand of God, and you just have heroes getting pretty farmed. Void's up to 3.7k. Oh boy. What's Jo gonna go for this game? I think Ags is a pretty good choice here just for the raw HP. BKB is still alright, but you're up against Doom, and you are public enemy #1 for Doom anyway, so I don't think BKB is the way to go. There's other heroes it's good against, but Doom just makes it not the best choice. You can go Manta style for some more attack speed. Not really the normal item. Maelstrom's okay. We'll have to see. I think Ags is definitely a solid choice, and the nice thing with the Ags is then you've got boat chrono up every 1 minute. In fact, less than 1 minute on the boat, but you can just keep on team fighting. Drop the chrono for a solo kill, drop the boat for a solo kill, and do it all over again just a minute later. Very potent combination. Don't you want to be a combination gamer, man? Come on, Jo. Come on, buddy. We'll see what he goes for. If he wants to go more of the hard carry route, Butterfly is definitely an option. Scales really well with the changes to Bash from a few patches ago. You get the double damage Bash every time you get one in Chrono, and the faster you're hitting, of course, the more Bashes you're getting. Just raw damage, like crit, MKB, are okay. I don't think there's going to be anyone building evasion in this game. Maybe there's a Heaven's Halberd on Doom later on, but he can probably opt for the crit if he so chooses. The other main option, which is a little unorthodox, is going like Assault Cuirass, which synergizes really well with the Chen, as well as EoT having a team fight lineup. Helps you bring down buildings faster, makes your whole team's death ball way scarier. But, okay. He'll go back for more farm. He goes Battle Fury, so Jo is taking the late game route. And this is going to be the team of many cleaves. They are an AoE machine, though, EoT. Between, even their supports, like, Crystal Maiden does a lot of AoE damage. And then you throw a Kunkka, the Chakram from the Timbersaw, all that nuke damage. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Only if they find something to latch onto, though. Right now, it's a Merlini they want, and it might be Merlini they get. And it might be a courier to boot. It has been spotted by this Rainy Observer. It's hiding in the trees for now. They try to find it. Oh boy, my kingdom for a courier. That's a big one to bring out. He's got Oblivion Step and a Shadow Amulet. But they won't find it just yet. Now they go in with the Bashlord, and on the backside, Merlini zips right into enemy lines. Oh my goodness, he got cut to pieces. Oh boy. He has this Observer Ward, but he did not see anyone in the woods until the last possible second. That was just complete, like, panic zip. Had to know, if Jo's jumping on you like that, there's 4 heroes missing, they are probably coming from behind. Maybe could have gone down the river and tried to live, but just wasn't expecting the ambush, and pays. And pays a lot. The good news is the courier didn't die, so they won't have 3 minutes without the Shadow Blade, as well as the Orchid, which would have been quite costly. The tower will fall bottom, goes to Sanka. The good news for FW is they have Doom. The bad news, though, is they're up against Chen. So when you're up against Chen as Doom, it's like, what do? Do you Doom the carry? Well, then he just gets sent back, Hand of God and mech'd, any or all of the above. If you Doom the Chen, then the Void just goes hard, so not an easy choice. Doom is a very scary hero when you're a Chen. You've got Chen back you up, it's not that bad. It's where they really need the Storm to have his Orchid. Like, if Storm has Orchid here, maybe if the Slark's working towards a BKB or a Basher, something just to help them force the fights, then it's not so big of a deal that they have the Chen. You can just, one hero goes on the Chen, the other on the Void, and with Doom, and then neither can really do much in the fights, but when they don't have those core items out, it becomes very difficult. Very tricky to bring them down. Pretty aggressive ward here by P. Young, and they probably should have seen this one coming. Everybody wants a gem, apparently. And to be honest, the wards have been doing a lot of work for both teams. We have seen fairly few effective D wards this game, but we've seen a lot of very effective lane wards, jungle wards, just generally spotting out movement for both teams. Kunkka with that corncob pipe in tow will head back towards mid and continue to farm. For now, it's definitely comfortable for EoT. If it goes ultra late game, then they've got to worry, but for the next 15, 20 minutes, this Void is going to be King Kong in the fights. I guess he's more of a hammerhead shark man thing, but yeah, you get the idea. He's going to be scary. If it goes late enough, though, you've Storm Doom. If you haven't seen that combo late game before, then you better watch out, because it hurts. For now, Jayo's in the front lines, feeling very confident. Just be careful about when you pop that Mask of Madness. You don't want to get doomed while it's on. He'll go in now. He drops the Chrono. That's going to reveal the Slark. He'll go down easily. Now Merlini jumping in. Not able to do a whole lot here. The Doom gets popped, but it's on Timbersaw. 1,600 health and the reactive armor. He doesn't give a hoot. Now an X, a Torrent to fly. They can jump on Prince in a moment's time. And Prince might be going home. Nope, there's a time walk back out by Jayo. With the Mask of Madness down, doesn't really have the deeps to bring anybody low enough for a kill. But they'll continue the siege. No Slark. Slark's still on the sidelines. This is where the Ags is really nice, though, if Jayo wants to go back for one. Is you can do that, and then it's like having an Ags on Beastmaster. It's like pretty much you heal up, you regroup, and then you're ready to fight again. And he does jump in again with the Mom. See ya, Prince, I think. He just needs a single bash here. Should be enough. Timbersaw cleans up one, then goes for more. It's a complete train wreck for FW. Herded back to their well. Will they be diving the base? This might be a little far for Chrissy, but he'll back off. Sanka goes for the tower tonight, almost picks it off. Now he's in all kinds of trouble. He does pop his ultimate. It's only going to last for a few more seconds. Then he's on his own. A bash would probably be a kill here. No bash, no kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Suddenly, Bloodstone, Blink Dagger for your Timbersaw, another 3.7k for Jayo. The Pinoys are going strong here, boys. They're looking pretty good, I gotta say. And now we see some really annoying items come out. Like there's a Ghost Scepter on the CM. Probably the one hero that you can try and focus, but just such a low priority target. Not something you really want to go for most of these fights. And even the Kunkka's got up a Crystallis, getting close to a Daedalus. So the damage output from EoT. This is where if you're FW, you need to be trying to set up ganks. You cannot take team fights, and they will smoke. Fortunately, it hasn't been spotted, but as you see the Radiant Vision here. But the bad news is, it's a fairly obvious gank. 2 lanes at the river, 1 lane not even there yet, and everybody's missing. Generally a sign something's amiss, as EoT sets up near the Roche pit. If they can find this Void to start the fight, they're in good shape, but the Void's actually back at base, and if they initiate on somebody else, it could be very bad. The Orchid goes, they go on the CM, they should be able to bring her down, but the bow comes through, connects on 2, make it 3 with the Timber splashing over the top, and now the Void goes to work, pops the Mask of Madness, BKB as well, brings down 2. This Hammerhead Shark can't be satiated. That's 4 to fall. And the lone survivor is the piddling Rubik. Not anymore. That's a 5-man wipe, and that is Roche as well, if EoT want to claim it. And a gem loss too. This is not looking good. Not looking good for FW, guys. Well, they might try and break the base here. There's no Doom. But everyone should respawn in short order, so we'll have to see if they really force the issue here. It's a bit risky. No BKB on the Void, no Chronosphere, even though there's no Doom, but they are pretty far ahead. So they settle for forcing out a Glyph. I think really premature from FW. Much better to take a little tower damage now, but have Glyph in the actual deciding fight than to blow it now and save 100, 200 HP on the tower and then not have it when you really need it. And with Chrono down and EoT not having 5 heroes mid, you know they shouldn't be forcing the issue. And if they do, you might actually be able to punish them, so not the best usage of Glyph. Such is life when you're this far behind, though. They trail by a lot. 14k gold, 15k experience. And not just in terms of raw numbers, but these are real items that hurt. Just having like a Vlad's for the Chen. This Void he's lifestealing quite a bit. And he's going to pick up his next item soon. After the BKB. He's already up to 1.6k. Butterfly is definitely an option here. I still think Ags is quite viable.
Regeneration.
Probably not a good Maelstrom game. Generally, you don't get Maelstrom and Battle Fury. But hold that thought. There'll be an X-Torrent boat. And a Scoundrel hits the deck. Well, guys, the Scoundrels are losing, so that's good. They go into the Roche Pit now. Jo starts working on the big rock, and EoT set up shop here. I don't really see FW being able to take this fight. They don't have BKB on Doom. No blink on him. The only person who could even think about initiating is the Storm. Zip in, go for an Aegis Snipe, and zip back out, but he's not in position to do it. I don't really think they can afford to be giving this up, but it's already too late. Jaya's going to snag the Aegis. Now there's a Daedalus on Kunkka, and EoT are Death Ball and straight at FW. FW just looking pretty severely outmatched so far in this series. They had the first blood. They had some okay early movement, but just a lot of inefficiencies in their laning stage, and since then it's just been EoT. They're the ones grouping, getting pickoffs, and then converting them into towers, map control, Roshan, key objectives across the board.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Jo starts swinging that big mace, and how does FW look to defend this? Not really easy. There's a Chen just hanging back, ready to Hand of God, send home. Mac, do whatever you need. They'll get a stomp on Chrissy, but Jo just starts running around. Look at that move speed. Rubik stolen the chrono, but what's it actually going to do? They chrono the CM, and Jo says, great, that's more move speed for me. I'm coming back for you, buddy. He brings down Scoundrel as well. Now the Doom comes out, but it's a futile effort. Chrissy's at full HP. That's 4 dead. Everybody falls. And it should be GG any second now. Sanka gets bashed. First hit, first bash. That's gotta be it. That's Rax. That's 1-2 lanes. That's another like 6k gold going the enemy team's way. And the Pinoys reign supreme here in our opening match of today's Korean Dota League action. Well, I've missed casting Pinoy Dota. I'm getting a semi-dose with EoT. Not quite the same as casting Mineski, but it's a good start. And I think we can really see that EoT, one of those top Korean teams right now, if you had to pick one team who could, you know, who you'd say like should be in Tier 1, who isn't, it's EoT. I don't think there's much debate about that. There's some other teams who are close, but oh, they'll go back in now. They'll bring down Rhina. They'll make it look easy too, and it's just easy racks at this point. They've got the Eye of the Tiger, and nothing can sway them from taking this base. FW hangs on, but any second now, this could be the end. Another Chrono, that's on 2. Where's the Storm zip out? Where's the silence? Wouldn't have mattered with the BKB, but could have tried to run. Instead, he takes it on the chin, and EoT keep on marching. Finally, the BKB ends, but the damage has been done, and then some. 4 fall, and the GGs come out. FW get absolutely run over. Jo buys a humiliation Dagon 3 just to rub some salt in the wound. And on that note, our opening match of today's Korean Dota League comes to a close. 26-8, 29 minutes in. Yeah, this was a beatdown. Rough way to go for FW. It is a round-robin stage, though, so we'll see more of them coming up. And we'll actually take a very quick look at those standings, courtesy of Liquipedia. So far, I don't know if these are actually fully updated. Yeah, no, they are updated. Okay, so EoT, opening match for them, so they'll be sitting on the upper half of Tier 2 for now. And do remember that it's either the top 1 or 2 Tier 2 teams have a chance to play in the Tier 1 for the following season. So order of finish definitely matters. You can move up to the top league if you do well. But with that being said, we're very early in the season. We'll take a quick break, guys. When we come back, we have Team Zephyr in the house. They'll be playing their best of 3 against MVP Phoenix after this. Of course, I'm LD of Beyond the Summit. If you enjoy my casting, you can follow me, twitter.com/LDDota. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.